commercial bank has come under scrutiny for alleged involvement in schemes that exploit ordinary citizens through the legal system. The case of Captain Kung'u Muigai, related to former President Uhuu Kenyatta, illustrates how a major bank can allegedly work with judges to take over valuable assets. Muigai claims that his family's Muiru coffee estate, worth over 3.5 billion shillings, was sold at just 70 million shillings to BD Kenya Limited, which later resold it at its real value. According to him, the bank relied on a forged court document to justify this transaction, leaving him and his company without proper legal remedies, while KCB gained significantly. The dispute dates back to 1989, when Muigai, through his company Benjo Amalgamated Limited, applied for a 23 million shillings loan to start a flour export business. He says KCB only released 9 million shillings and later blocked the loan, citing his political connections. He filed a case in the High Court, which dragged on for years amid claims that rulings were manipulated. Muigai alleges that judges at different levels, including Supreme Court justices such as Isaac Lenaola, Martha Koome, Mohamed Ibrahim, Njoki Ndung'u, and William Oko, received bribes to maintain court decisions favoring the bank. At the Court of Appeal, other judges reportedly dismissed the earlier favorable rulings without proper review. Retired judges and others involved in earlier stages are also mentioned, with claims that bribes were given in hotels, parking lots, and through intermediaries involving millions of shillings and even US dollars. The serious consequences of all these alleged actions became clear with the recent killing of Lawyer Kyalo Mbobu. Mbobu was representing Muigai, who was shot in a drive-by attack near Galleria Maill along Magadi Road. Police reports shows that it was followed by boda riders before being shot in the evening. The attack came soon after Muigai publicly revealed names of judges and the bribes amount, raising concern over a possible link to his work. Mbobu, a former chairman of the political party's disputes tribunal and law lecturer, reportedly held evidence of judicial corruption involving $2.5 million. This case highlights the risks faced by those challenging powerful banks and an allegedly compromised judiciary. Many Kenyans have experienced similar situations where banks foreclose on property without proper accounting and judges allegedly overlook misconduct. Muigai's complaints to the Judicial Service Commission reportedly went unanswered, reinforcing the perception of a system that favors institutions over citizens. Calls for accountability, including resignations of implicated judges, have gained traction. The death of Mbobu underscores the dangers involved in exposing corruption and the urgent need for thorough investigations to ensure justice and proper citizens' rights. Without proper oversight, cases like these show how banks and judicial offices can allegedly collude to disadvantage ordinary people, causing financial loss, property disputes, and even putting lives at risk. It's clear that transparency and accountability are essential to prevent the continued exploitation of Kenyans and to restore trust in both the banking and judicial system. That is it from me for now. Thanks for watching. And this is Sophia Live.
My name is Captain Kung'u Muigai. I'm the chairman of the Kenya Cultural Center and also the patron of the National Council of Elders. There's a story I've seen in the social media about me and my company Benjo Amalgamated Limited, and I would like to state so that for clarity, people can understand where it's coming from. In 1989, I applied for a loan from KCB through my company, Benjo Amalgamated Limited, to start a floriculture business for growing flowers to export to Europe. The bank approved a loan of 23 million, and they asked me to put initial capital of 13 million to buy the farm, prepare the farm, irrigate it. And I did all that, and I grew 25 acres of flowers. But when the time came for export, which is the most expensive part of this project, we were in the middle of fighting for Section 2A, Mount Patti, and I was on the side of fighting for Mount Patti, and therefore the government was not very happy, and they stopped my loan. They had only disbursed 9 million out of 23. They stopped the loan, and they foreclosed it. They started demanding payment. I went to court and sued them for breach of contract through High Court case number 1219 of 1992. Before the case proceeded, the file got lost, and I applied for the file to be reconstructed. I filed my plaint, my chamber summons, my affidavit, but the bank said verbally that the matter had been settled through a consent judgment where I agreed that I owe the bank and I'll pay them. I protested because there was nothing like that. The order was supposed to have been recorded by Justice Erastus Gethenji. We went to him through an application, and he dismissed. He said there's no judgment like that. But the bank went to the Court of Appeal before Justice Kwach, Justice Tunoi, and Justice Bosile. And they ruled that indeed that judgment is there, although they didn't see it. They said I must have stolen the file, and they said that without any investigations, and they said that the order exists. I came to find out later through a worker from the lawyer who was representing the bank that bench was given 1 million shillings through Justice Kwach, and the money was delivered at the Hilton Hotel, basement parking, and that's why they ruled like that. After that, my father, I had given the bank 2 securities, my farms, and my father had given a guarantee with his coffee farm. And in 1995, my father said, I'll pay off the 9 million you say you are owed, so you can release my farm. And he paid 6 million. The bank wrote him and said, we have received, now you owe 3 million. But unfortunately, my father died. That was in July. My father died in August. And my mother wrote back to the bank, asking them to state the final account. And to our surprise, 4 months later, the bank wrote and said the outstanding sum is 44.3 million.